Hello students, this is Mrs. Sonal Patil. In our previous class, we have completed the chapter Plant Kingdom. Today, we will begin with the chapter 4 Animal Kingdom. To begin with the introduction, the universe is unique in having life. It is the house for millions of life forms. About 1.5 millions of species of animals have been identified till date. Animals differ from one another with respect to size, form, internal structure, behavior, then place of dwelling, nature of functions they perform, modes of reproduction, and pattern of their geographical distribution. The size of the animals ranges from a few microns to nearly 100 feet. If animals like amoeba and plasmodium are too small to be seen by the naked eye, animals like blue whale and elephant are gigantic. Animals have a definite shape that helps to distinguish one animal from another. However, amoeba and few sponges are exception as they are irregular in shape. Animals also show differences in internal structure or organization. They exhibit cellular grade or tissue grade or organ grade of organization. They also show various modes of feeding habitats. If some are herbivores, some are carnivores, and some are parasites. Animals are found in almost all types of habitats. Some live in water, some on land, and some in or on the body of other organisms. Animals not only live in hottest deserts but also in the coldest regions of the world. They also vary in the mode of reproduction. Some reproduce asexually and the rest by sexual method. The above features of animals clearly show how diverse animals are. Animals of different types are present in large numbers. This makes the study of each of them difficult or even impossible. To overcome this problem and to facilitate the study of them in a systematic way, a new branch of biology called animal taxonomy or zoo taxonomy or systematics has come into existence, and we have already studied that taxonomy is defined as a branch of biology that deals with the identification, naming, and classification of organisms. Coming to the silent features of kingdom Animalia, they possess eukaryotic cell without cell wall, plastids, and photosynthetic pigments. So cell wall is absent, plastids are absent, and photosynthetic pigments are absent, and the cell is eukaryotic. Means what? Here the nucleus is enveloped by the nuclear or the genetic material. Sorry, the genetic material is enveloped by the nuclear membrane. They are all multicellular organisms, and the cells are organized into tissues, organs, or organ systems. They are all heterotrophic in their nutrition. Means what? They are dependent on the other organism for their nutrition. Generally, they are motile. In some cases, adults are sessile and larval stage exhibit motility. They have sensory neuromotor system and are provided with specialized sense organs to respond to stimulus. So these respond to the external stimuli. Generally, they reproduce by sexual method. Asexual reproduction is seen in lower organisms. They show series of progressive developmental stages from an embryo to an adult. So these were the salient features of kingdom Animalia. Coming to the basis of classification, various animals of kingdom Animalia are classified based on body plans. Firstly, looking at the levels of organization, the first one is cellular level. Here, the body is multicellular in nature and cells are not organized into tissues. So body is multicellular in them, but the cells here are not organized into tissues, and hence it is called as cellular level of organization. This type of organization is seen in poriferans. Coming to the next one, tissue level. Here the body is multicellular and the cells are organized into tissues. So body is multicellular here, where the cells are organized into tissues. Example are coelentrates. So that is about the tissue level of organization. Coming to the organ level, here the body is multicellular and the cells are organized into tissues and the tissues into organs. Example for organ level of organization is platyhelminthes. Lastly, organ system level, when two or more organs work together to perform a specific body function, they form an organism. So this is called as organ system level of organization. It is seen in annelidans, arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms and chordates. Here, so these were the levels of organization. Firstly, cellular level, tissue level, organ level and organ system level of organization. Organ system is of two types, namely incomplete system and complete system. Incomplete system, the name itself tells that the system is incomplete. So the digestive system in platyhelminthes has only a single opening to outside of the body that serves as both mouth and the anus. So there is a single opening which is performing the function of mouth as well as of the anus. So it is called as incomplete system. Whereas complete system is what? The digestive system has two openings, mouth at anterior end and anus at the posterior end of the body. Example, it is seen in the higher organisms. So these were the two types of system, incomplete system and the complete system. Similarly, the circulatory system may be of two types. They are as follows. Firstly, open type of circulatory system and second one is closed type of circulatory system. Open type of circulatory system is nothing but here the blood is pumped out of the heart and the cells and tissues are directly dipped in it. So here what is happening is that the blood which is being pumped out of the heart, it is pumped and the cells here and the tissues are directly dipped in it. Such type of circulatory system is called as open type of circulatory system. Whereas in closed type of circulatory system, the blood is circulated through series of vessels of varying diameters. So there are vessels present. Through these vessels the blood gets circulated in the closed type of circulatory system. So these were two types, open type and closed type of circulatory system. Coming to the body wall. During embryonic development, most of the animals produce embryonic tissue layers called germ layers. The germ layers are ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These germ layers produce various tissues, organs and organ system of an organism, but poriferans lack these germ layers. Coming to diploblastic, these animals have two germ layers, namely an outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. Between these two layers, there is no non-cellular gelatinous substance called mesoglia present. It is observed in coelentrates. So here in diploblastic, there are two germ layers present, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. So they are called as diploblastic, derived from two germ layers. This is seen in coelentrates. Whereas in triploblastic organism, these animals have three germ layers, three. So they have three germ layers such as outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. It is observed from platyhelminthes to the chordates. So there were two types of organism, diploblastic and triploblastic. Remember student, this will be asked for 1 or 2 marks. Diploblastic means what? Here the animals have two germ layers, that is outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, whereas in triploblastic these animals have three germ layers such as an outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. Coming to the body symmetry, The most obvious feature of an animal is the shape. Most of the animals are asymmetrical except most of the sponges, corals and snails. Depending upon the body symmetry, there are different types of organism like asymmetry. These animals have no general body plan or axis of symmetry that divides body into two equal halves. Example, most of the sponges, corals and the so asymmetry means what? Here they have no general body plan and these animals cannot be divided in two equal halves from any plane and hence they are called as asymmetrical. Whereas radial symmetry is nothing but here the animals in which the body parts are arranged concentrically around the central axis so that the organism can be cut into two halves from any plane. So from any plane the organism can be cut into two equal parts. Such a symmetry is called as radial symmetry. Example, jellyfish, sea anemone, hydra. So if you see the starfish also, you can see that organism can be cut into any plane and you will get passing through the center. Okay, it should pass through the center and two equal parts are being created when they are cut passing through the center and that type of symmetry is called as radial symmetry. Bilateral symmetry, here the animals in which the body parts are arranged along the length of axis on left and right side like mirror images so that such an organism can be cut into two equal halves at only one plane. Bilateral means what? Here the organism can be cut in only one plane passing through the center and can be cut into two equal parts. So it is called as bilateral symmetry. Students, remember these are all important questions from 1 mark and 2 marks point of view. So please read this. So body symmetry is of three types: asymmetry, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Asymmetry means what? The body of the organism, if it is cut into from any plane passing through the center, you will not get two equal parts. Whereas in radial symmetry, if the body is been cut into any plane passing through the center, two equal halves of the organism are being created. Whereas in bilateral symmetry, in only one plane passing through the center, the organism can be cut into two equal parts. So it is called as bilateral symmetry, which is observed in all higher animals. So that was about the body symmetry. Here it has been shown the first one is bilateral symmetry. So you can see here the organism is cut into only one plane and two equal parts are being created. So it is called as bilateral symmetry. Here you can see if the organism is cut into any plane passing through the center, you will get two equal parts. So it is called as radial symmetry. Whereas in sponges, if you cut from any plane, you will not get two equal parts. So it is not exhibiting any symmetry. So it is asymmetrical. Okay, so these were the types of symmetry. Coming to the body cavity or coelom. The coelom or body cavity is a space present between the body wall and the gut, that is nothing but the alimentary canal or the digestive system. So the space which has been present or the cavity which has been present between the body wall and the digestive system, it is called as the body cavity or coelom. Animals show different types of body cavities. You can just see first one is acoelomate. In this type there is no body cavity between body wall and alimentary canal. So it is called as acoelomate. So no body cavity between the body wall and the alimentary canal. So it is called as acoelomate. Example is platyhelminthes. Whereas in pseudocoelomate, in this type there is a body cavity between the body wall and the alimentary canal but not lined by mesoderm. So it is not lined by the mesoderm. It is having a body cavity but not lined by the mesoderm. Example is Ascalminthes. Eucoelomate, in this type there is body cavity between the body wall and alimentary canal and the cavity is lined by, here the cavity is lined by mesoderm. So it is called as eucoelomate. Example is Annelida 2. Chordates exhibit this type of body cavity. So there are three types: acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and the eucoelomate. Okay, these questions also may be asked for 1 or 2 marks. Syphilization. the process of formation of head having nervous, sensory and feeding structures by the fusion of anterior segments of the body is called cephalization. So cephalization is nothing but here the head, it is a process of formation of head where the head is formed having nervous, sensory and feeding structures by the fusion of anterior segments of the body, that is called as cephalization. And notochord is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development in some animals. So notochord is nothing but it is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure which is formed on the dorsal side during the embryonic development in some animals. Animals with notochord are called chordates, and those animals which do not form this structure are called non-chordates. Example, porifera to echinoderms. So that was about the cephalization and notochord. Coming to the segmentation, it is a condition in which there is a linear serial repetition of similar body parts. This is also called as metameric segmentation, and each segment is called as metamer or somite. In the human body, there is repetition of muscles, vertebrae and nerves. Example for segmentation, annelida, arthropoda and chordates. So here segmentation is nothing but it is a phenomenon of linear repetition of parts in an animal body where it is having different segments over here. Segments are being formed. So as in earthworm you can see there are many segments present. So these are called as metamer, and the phenomenon is called as segmentation, or it is also called as metamerism. So that was about the segmentation. So today we will stop here, and in the next class we will start with the next part of the chapter. We will see about the outline classification of kingdom Animalia, and we will begin with the next part of the chapter. Thank you.